The alarm klaxons wailed across station harmony, their pulsing rhythm shaking the glass panels. Red lights washed through the corridors, turning the once calm medical hub into a battlefield of sound and movement. Dr. Lyra Sen sprinted toward the command deck, Evan Cole close behind her. The words from the broadcast still echoed in her mind, cold, mechanical, and unmistakably hostile. Deliver the human doctor. Or we open fire. On the panoramic display, the source came into focus, a cruiser-class vessel hovering just beyond the station's defense perimeter. Its hull bore the sigil of the Orion Consortium, one of the most powerful corporate blocs in the sector. Their ships were not supposed to be armed. Captain Roth, the broad-shouldered Grenic who commanded Harmony, slammed a clawed hand on the console. Consortium vessel, you are entering restricted orbit. Identify your intent. The reply came through, layered in static. Intent is simple. Dr. Evan Cole's research violates trade confidentiality. The Foster Protocol threatens proprietary medical markets. Surrender the human, and your station remains intact. Evan frowned. They're not worried about science, they're worried about profit. Lyra's mandibles clicked sharply. They'll erase every creature you've saved if they think it keeps their monopoly safe. Can the defense grid hold them? Evan asked. Roth shook his rocky head. Their guns could turn this station to vapor. But they're bluffing, maybe. A tremor rippled through the deck as if the station itself answered. The outer shields flared bright white. Warning shot, Roth growled. They're serious. Lyra turned to Evan. We can't let them take you. Without you, the Council's data loses legitimacy. He met her gaze, calm amid the panic. Without the patients, none of it matters. What's our evacuation status? Compromised, Roth said. Docking ports sealed from the blast. Only internal bays are accessible. Then we protect the living, Evan said. If they want me, they'll have to come through everyone I've helped. Minutes later, the medical bay transformed into an improvised stronghold. Staff secured patients, reinforced containment fields, and rerouted power to emergency bulkheads. Lyra coordinated the defense grid while Evan moved among the frightened creatures, not with orders, but with presence. He crouched beside a trembling avian with golden feathers. Easy now, he whispered, brushing his fingers along its crest. The bird stilled. Across the bay, other creatures responded, calming one another, echoing his tone through trills, hums, and soft clicks. Lyra paused to watch. They're copying your vocal frequency, she murmured in disbelief. You've trained an entire ward to soothe itself. Evan smiled faintly. Guess empathy's contagious. The comm channel crackled again. Final warning, said the consortium commander. Surrender Dr. Cole, within 10 minutes. Captain Roth muted the signal. They're charging weapons. Then let's give them a reason to hesitate, Evan said. Broadcast open channel, visual feed. Roth hesitated. They could trace it. Let them. A moment later, the entire bridge flickered with the live transmission. The consortium commander's metallic visage appeared on screen, a humanoid face augmented with chrome and circuitry. This is Dr. Evan Cole, Evan said evenly. You're threatening a sanctuary full of the lives you claim your medicine protects. If you destroy us, the galaxy will see what your ethics are worth. The commander sneered. You're a sentimental fool. The council will forget you. Maybe, Evan said. But these beings won't. He stepped aside, revealing the medical bay on the feed, a dozen species, predator and prey alike, resting side by side. The Corthan, the Tavern, the glowing bird, all calm, all alive. The commander faltered, expression flickering. What is this? Lyra's voice joined the transmission. Proof. Every one of these patients was marked untreatable by your own databases. The Foster Protocol saved them. You can destroy this station, but not the truth. For several tense seconds, silence filled the calm, then the commander's image vanished. Signal lost, Roth said. They've gone dark. Everyone held their breath. Then the external sensors lit up again. The ship was turning, slowly aligning its engines away from Harmony. No more weapon charge signatures. They're retreating, Lyra whispered. Evan exhaled. Guess compassion isn't great for business. Roth laughed, a deep rumble like stone breaking. You may have just made enemies in half the galaxy, human, but you've also made believers in the other half. Outside, the cruiser slipped into hyperspace, leaving behind silence and the faint hum of life continuing. Evan turned back toward the bay. The creatures watched him, their eyes reflecting the blue emergency lights. You're safe, he said softly. All of you. And for the first time since the alarms began, the station seemed to breathe again. Yet as calm returned, a council priority signal arrived, not from the political chambers this time, but from the frontier colonies. Entire ecosystems were collapsing, and the message was clear: send the human doctor. We're losing species by the hour. The transmission played on repeat across Station Harmony's command deck, a voice trembling with desperation, broken by static. This is Outpost Iden, agricultural sector collapsing, native wildlife dying, we need the human doctor, please. Dr. Evan Cole stood silent as the message faded into white noise. Behind him, holographic data projections flickered to life, biosphere readings plummeting, oxygen ratios destabilized, migration patterns disrupted. Dr. Lyra Sen scanned the data, her mandibles drawn tight in disbelief. Every ecological indicator is crashing. It's not just one planet, it's spreading through the outer colonies. Captain Roth's stone-like form leaned against the railing. Council hasn't approved intervention yet. They say it's an unverified crisis. Typical politics. Evan rubbed his temples. If they're calling for help, it's verified enough for me. You'd leave the station? Lyra asked quietly. After the consortium attack, the council barely tolerated your survival, let alone another mission. Evan looked through the viewport, the stars stretching into forever. If the Foster Protocol means anything, it's that every life deserves a chance. Not just the ones inside a containment field. Lyra hesitated, then straightened. Then you're not going alone. The journey to Outpost Iden took 12 hours through subspace. When the shuttle emerged, silence greeted them. Below, the planet glowed an eerie copper, its once green surface veiled by ash-colored haze. Atmosphere integrity at 70%, Lyra reported. Vegetation loss nearing total. Radiation spikes along the equator. Roth's voice came through the comm from orbit. Stay linked. If the environment's toxic, I'm pulling you out. Understood, Evan said, fastening his respirator. Let's see what we're dealing with. The hatch opened to a wind like a dying breath. They stepped onto cracked soil where forests had once stood. Ash drifted in slow spirals, and somewhere in the distance, a mechanical hum pulsed, the sound of failing life support turbines. Lyra's scanners beeped. No microbial activity. Even the air's losing cohesion. This ecosystem's gone into cascade failure. Evan crouched, brushing the brittle ground. Something killed the roots first. He tapped his wrist pad, overlaying a holographic model. See. Nutrient decay began at the lowest trophic level. The animals are dying because the soil's grieving. The soil? Lyra said skeptically. Evan nodded. Every biosphere's like a living body. You treat symptoms, you miss the cause. You listen, he pressed his palm against the ground. You can almost feel what it's trying to say. Lyra's tone softened. And what does it say now? That it's afraid, Evan murmured. Afraid of us. A weak chittering sound interrupted them. Lyra turned, a small creature, skeletal and trembling, crawled from the shadow of a shattered tree. Its eyes were milky, its breathing shallow. Evan approached slowly, kneeling. "Hey, buddy. Easy now." The creature sniffed the air, collapsed, and shivered violently. Evan scooped it up carefully, wrapping it in his thermal cloak. "There's still time," he said. "If this one's alive, others might be, too." They followed faint life signals to what had once been a rehabilitation dome, now cracked and half-buried. Inside, the stench of decay was thick. Dozens of creatures lay motionless. A few still breathed weakly. Lyra covered her face. "There are too many. We can't save them all." Evan set the small survivor on the floor, surrounded by the others. "Then we save what we can, together." He activated portable emitters, projecting warmth and light. The temperature stabilized slightly. The living ones twitched, responding to the sudden comfort. Evan spoke softly, rhythmically, not words, but tone, like a melody learned from the universe itself. Lyra watched, eyes wide. "You're singing." "Not exactly," he said. "On Earth, farmers used to hum to crops. Maybe it's nonsense, or maybe it's connection." One by one, the weak creatures stirred. Tiny heartbeats reappeared on Lyra's scanner. "It's working," she whispered. "I don't know how, but it's working." Outside, the winds began to shift. Sensors spiked. "Atmospheric pressure rising," Lyra said, astonished. "Localized temperature increase around this dome. It's like, the planet's responding." Evan smiled faintly, watching the first faint patch of green shimmer beneath the ash. Maybe it just needed someone to listen. But before they could celebrate, the ground trembled, a deep, resonant quake that rattled the shattered dome. Lyra steadied herself. "Seismic surge, origin, beneath us." Roth's voice roared over the calm, coal. "Sen. Something massive is moving under the surface, get out of there." Evan looked down at the soil as cracks began to glow with blue light. "No," he said quietly. "Something's awakening." The ground split open, revealing something vast, ancient, and alive. The dying planet hadn't been decaying, it had been hibernating. And now, it wanted to know why humans had made it afraid.